What's up, PIP stacking family? Bob Beckett here, and in this video I want to go over the PIP stacking supply and demand indicator. Okay, so I haven't made any videos for a while. I was actually under the weather for a month. Okay, I finally got on some antibiotics and I could finally sit up straight. I was basically just trading and working with my one-on-one students and that kind of stuff for the last month, and basically couldn't really put the value that I needed to put into you guys, other than I've been doing a lot of trade signals. If you haven't gotten my free trade signals, go over to Trade with Bob. It's free. Okay, everybody else are charging like 97 to 197 per month. Today alone we did, was it 500 plus pips for free. Almost every day we end up winning for the most part if you take all the trades and do proper risk management. But if you go to tradewithbob.com, what's going to happen here is we're going to be doing giveaways. Okay, I'm going to be doing giveaways. I'm going to be giving away thousands of dollars in cash. I'm going to be giving away prop firm challenges. I'm going to be giving away deals where I pass them for you. Okay, like you buy the challenge and I'll pass them for you. I'm going to be giving away whole trading setups. I'm going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff. One-on-one sessions with me, which I normally charge $1,000 for, which, by the way, if you just want to cut the BS and just work directly with me, I do have one-on-one spots available. All you have to do is go to tradewithbob.com, and in there's my one-on-one section. What that's going to entail is you'll get 1 hour with me and then 7 days with me on Telegram. Okay. With that said, I'm just going to get right into this. I don't want to waste your time. Okay. Just let me get into the nitty gritty here. If you watch this indicator at all, we've had a lot of people having massive success with it. Basically what I have on right now, this is my other indicator, but I'm not talking about PulseX Premium right now, even though we're having a big sale on that right now. You can save a bunch of money. Go to pulsexpremium.com. Sorry about all the plugs, but it's Christmas and I got to hook you up while I can. All right, so pip stacking. So if I go into here, I'm using the 4-hour resolution. That means it's looking on the 4 hour for order blocks, and it's showing the order blocks plus imbalances. So if I look right here, it's going to take the order block plus the next candle down, which is why this was like that. And this was never mitigated, meaning it never came up to the 50% of the dotted line right here, the dashed line, which is what this indicator calls mitigated. So what that means is basically it came up here and filled this area, and then we're looking for sells off that area, right? I could actually turn on mitigated order blocks, but it'll get messy probably, but you'll see these are prior ones that hit 50%. So you can see there's a lot of blocks that are being filled at all times. I'm actually going to I'm going to add an option where you can limit the amount of shown mitigated order blocks. It'll help with visuals maybe. All right, with that said, the same thing goes for buys, right? So these green areas are unmitigated order blocks on the 4 hour, right? So this pulled down to this area, but didn't quite hit the 50% of the block, right? So if I go down to the 15-minute, it's still going to show the 4 hour blocks, which is pretty cool. And that's what I'm going to share with you on this. Basically, what all we're going to do is we're going to wait. We're going to have a rule and wait for it to hit 50% of a block. And we're going to wait for the first break of structure. Okay. I'm not going to do any calls or any fancy anything, but I do have people that just do this and they're totally fine. They're funded and they can stay consistent. Where people get mentorship is when you need like a trade plan and you need me to look over like why you keep screwing up and why you have like over trading problems and self-sabotage and all kinds of issues like that. For the most part though, you could, as long as you got entries right, you're pretty good. Everything else comes to risk management. If anybody tells you differently, they're just trying to gank money from you. So I'm going to go back in time as far as this will let me. I'm not going to go down to the 1 minute like I train my students to do, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to do that. And where am I? Okay, we went all the way back to February. Okay, so let me push auto and here we go. So again, these are the 4 hour order blocks, and what do you know? We're just now hitting 50% of this block. So all I'm going to do, guys, is look at the structure. Okay, the structure is very simple. If I find the path thing, I always lose. There we are. All right, so look, low, high, low, higher high, higher 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 low, higher high. Oh, nope, sorry. Higher high, higher low, higher high, and we don't know yet, right? So we aren't selling until it breaks this low. But because we're in this 4 hour block, we're not going to buy. That'd be stupid. You could have bought down here just fine. You could have been buying these freaking retracements every single time where it was mitigating these small blocks, right? If I had the 15-minute on, these would all be blocks, right? That it'd be mitigating. So with that said, we're waiting for it to break this structure. So let me go ahead and just push play. Let's see if that happens. And nothing. Oh, and there it is. So you could have sold the break, which I do teach, but you'll have to use a bigger stop or you'll be dumb, right? So that right there, you could have had a sell limit order in. You could have got in right here. And ultimately, where do we target? You got it right. We go down to at least the 50%. So let's push that. And there we go. So it just mitigated that area. Now, if I were to turn on mitigation or mitigated areas, you'll see that whole area will be green. There we go. Because it just mitigated that giant block, right? So what does that mean? We're looking for buys now because it mitigated the 50% of that area. So we're going to do the same exact thing. That doesn't mean it can't go lower. Go down to this block. Let's just see. But if you see a break a structure up, let me tell you. I'll tell you. Hold on. Nothing yet. All right. We would have hit a 1 to 3.47. And you could just get out when it breaks a structure up. It's as simple as that, guys. So like straight up, like you could hold this trade until it breaks a structure up. Where are the structures? Simple. Low, high, or lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It's literally got to break this right here for me to get out. So it's got to come up here for me to get out. Otherwise, I'm just holding this sucker. I forget where I got it. It was like right there or something like that. So let me just show you where I would get out. Now you could get out right here. It might be early. All right, we're breaking structures. Okay, it was a wick, but I will get out right here and I'll be looking for buys now. Okay, so here's where we would enter for a buy. Why? Because we hit the 50%. We came down here, mitigated some more, and now we're coming down here. These are where I'd be looking for a buy. All right, so let me reverse that. So let's say worst case scenario, we only hit a 1 to 2.21 or a 1 to 2 on that, right? Not bad for a massive stop. Again, I don't use 15-minute to enter the trades. I just I use the 1 minute and I'm using like 10 pip stops, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll show you that sometime, but I will show you that on my one-on-one mentorship. In this area is where I'd be looking for buys. So let's just see. All right, it's breaking structure still, so there's no entry. So right here, man, this would have just kept going, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's where fear of missing out and all that kind of stuff happens, right? So now we're breaking into this box. So I'm not going to look for any trades until it hits like around this area, if it does, and then a break a structure up. And I just saw maybe a break a structure up. Nope, it needs to break this. Let's see. This wick right here. So if it breaks this wick right here, you can get in, or you can wait for a pullback after it breaks that. So let's just watch. Nope, never did. So we never got in. Now you can be taking these blocks back down. All right. So let me show you. Like when you have something super steep like that and nothing's happening, you could actually drop this down to the 15-minute. And let me just go back here and see what we got. Now we're looking at the 15-minute blocks. Okay. So as this is going up here, this left a wide open block in this area. And right there, see that how it just tagged it and then shot down? These are all nice moves, like seriously. See how it literally just comes up here and tags these blocks and freaking shoots down? That's crazy. All right, so that's one way you could do it. You could have just got in because it was a block in general. Let me show you that. So let me show you how this is drawn. As of right here, is this 15-minute block? Okay. So you had this last green candle up right here to there. And this came up and wicked it. And that's where you would have entered for that sell. Now, before you say, oh, that's not a lot, you could have had this above this. And it could have been a nice 1 to 3 almost right there. The things I look for are like 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 20s. We hit them. We don't always hit them, obviously. I think I average 1 to 6 or 1 to 7 on most of my trades. That's including the 1 to 30s that I hit rarely, but I do hit them. So with that said, there's a couple of things you could do, and I'm not against, hey, you could draw, if you need the visual, you could draw like a trend line here. I'm not a huge trend line trader or anything, but if you need to be able to see that this broke structure, by all means. What I'd rather tell you is, hey, draw this zone. Okay. I'm huge on zones. Draw that zone. And if it's having a really hard time breaking these structures up here, you could just sell it right here, right? Let's just see where you could have put a stop in this situation. So right here, the stop would be above there if it dropped from there. Yeah, there we go. So the stop would be up there. Not a great trade, honestly. It's not amazing. With using the 15 minutes, not horrible either. All right, so let's look for targets down here. This is pretty far down. You could push it and see. Remember, wait for break of structures up. Now, where could you have gotten out? Right here. This was lower low, lower high, lower low. That means if it broke above this, you could have got out. So that wouldn't have been a big win, but it would have saved you on a loss, right? So right here where it broke, you could have got a 0.5 win. No biggie, right? This came up to mitigate this area, but I don't like how bullish that is. I think it might be turning, and this is where we're looking for buys. Okay, perfect. So now we're looking for buys. It's clearing this liquidity, and it's going into these blocks right here. So this is normally where I'd be dropping down the 1 minute, and I'd be scalping like crazy from here to here, knocking out 1 to 5s, 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 10. You know what I'm saying? Like my positions are literally like 10 pip stop type deals, right? 10, 20 pip stop. Let's call that 20. That's still a 1 to 6.79. I'd lie if I said I wouldn't have got out around this area where all this volume was right here. So that'd have been my 1 to 6, 1 to 7 kind of situation. And the same thing here, like you can actually draw out this block. Don't know why it's not shown. There should be like a block. Okay. Breaking structure to the downside. Okay. And it's wicking in this area. So there's a good chance it could be dropping again. So let me drop this on the lower. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. So we got a 5-minute order block in there. Now I want you to see how cool this is. We're on the higher time frame, and this is looking on the lower time frame order blocks that it could potentially push off of. It's crazy, actually, how it works. All right, so I want you to see this right here. So this drew essentially a block right there and then wicked it and took off, right? So this filled 50% of this block and then took off from right there. And then look where it's targeting. All right, hit those blocks. I could actually push play and show you how powerful this is. This is crazy. Obviously, it's going to be more powerful through higher time frame blocks. If I put this on and this indicator is only $7, right? I'm not upping the price or anything. There's no gotchas or monthly costs or anything. So watch how it plays between blocks. All right, boom. Went up, touch those. Let's see if it comes down here. Oh, it did. Let's see if it goes back up there. Okay, I went to grab those blocks first. But look, oh, watch this. What I want you to notice, there's a lot more red blocks up here, right? That needs to be filled. There's only a couple down here, so there could be a good sign that it could be going back up soon. Because it needs to mitigate these areas, right? Once you start seeing structure breaks up, that's when you start buying right there. See how that broke that structure? Now in this area is when you look to buy. Now I don't like how that was a wick only, and we'll see. Yeah, see, that was a wick. It was just taking liquidity. Whenever you see a wick, usually it's just taking liquidity. A lot of people, they call it a stop hunt or something like that. But right there, that's what you want to see. Now you're seeing solid closes above these areas. This is when you'll see it come down to these blocks and take off going up usually. All right, come down and went up. You would have made a lot there. Now it's going sideways, but I still think it's going to go up now. We'll see. I could be totally wrong. It just did a nosedive for that block. See, that's the thing. You just got to go from block to block. And once you get that, you don't have to be right all the time. It doesn't matter. You only have to be right 50% of the time with a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, and you're going to be a profitable trader. So this is where I'd be looking for sells off these blocks right here. So if it came up in this area and I saw a break of structure in lower time frame, I'd sell off of it. Let's see. It's going so strong that it's like literally not even giving it time to pull up. Watch it. Pulls in, then drops. Pulls in, then drops. Pulls in, then drops. All right. Did you notice that first break right here? See what I mean? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Ooh, higher high. That's your first sign that it might be reversing. Came down here, created a double bottom, took off. So that's what you got to notice. Now we're playing. The only thing that I'm concerned about is this block and this block right now. That's my playing field. I'm only playing between these zones. That's it at this moment until it breaks. Now, when it breaks, that now becomes a demand area. So supply becomes demand and demand becomes supply situation. So I'd be looking for buys off this block if it gives me that. There she goes. See how it broke structures. Just always look for structure breaks. So this came into the block, right? Then broke structure right here, pulled back. This is where you'd buy, right? And that looks like a small move, but even if you did, even with 103 pip freaking stop loss, which I'd never do, that's 2.33, right? Now, again, if you would have just put this right here, let's say you knew where you were going to put your stop, on a lower time frame, you would have had something nice to put this under. This is a 1 to 6. So those add up, like for real, those add up. You could lose 6 times in a row for break even at that point, as long as you get out at risk. And let's see. And it just keeps going. See, now we're leaving these green blocks wide open. So if it comes in this area and you see a structure break, take it up. Oh, doesn't help when you have a gap. All right, there we go. So see these green areas right here? Watch it come down and go up. There she goes. Green, up. All right, now we're hitting a lot of these reds, which it might pull back up, pull back down to these areas before going up again. Let's see. All right, hit these areas. Mitigated some. Let's see if we get a structure break. No structure break yet. There it is. See if it fills up here. There she goes. See, once you start seeing it, this is like, I was at one point in my life, my career, I was literally, I would fall asleep just having replay on. I don't know, you call it a sickness or whatever, but I got really good with it. So no structure breaks up yet. Watch this. You'll start seeing it happen, right before your eyes, right? No structure break. See that? Look at this. Look at this. You see how this was just a wick? This came up here. This was the structure I was looking at. It just wicked it. It took liquidity. I'd be selling all day right here, right? These are things we teach in the mentorship, right? So let's just look further. These are sells all day. If I have to show you that, let me turn this off for a second, right? I'm just gonna draw these blocks, right? Just, if I didn't even do the blocks how all the gurus taught you, this is what I would show you right here. Look, this pulled up into that block, that range, it dropped. I'll just go one at a time, right? If you can't see this, hopefully you could see it eventually, right? This broke the low, came up, dropped. Next range. That broke the low, tapped it, and dropped. All right. What do you see? This one. Here's another one. Let's see if it taps that and drops. Tap, drop. There it is. See it? Now, whenever it comes back to the same area, I would not sell again. Now, this is where retail traders get trapped. Look. Boom. You could have made something there, but man, that's risky as crap. Now that we're getting structure breaks, why is it a structure break? We had a lower high, lower low, then it broke structure up, pulled back. This is where you'd buy, right? So now we're in a buying. So I want you to think about this. Retail traders, they're saying there's a trend line here. So they're going to let you feel like you're winning. But guess what? We saw the structure break. So we're going to be buying off of this area, right? If we see a structure break. There she goes. Broke structure and shot up. See that? And all the retail traders are like, oh no, what are we going to do? I'm a retail trader. I'm just saying. I trade institutionally, right? I trade with the banks. I don't know. I hate saying all that stuff. I trade where there's liquidity. That's it. I'm seeing the fact that there's a trend line here. Trend lines are made to be broken, right? I don't believe in trend lines. Like it's good if you're trying to train your eye, but I would not be buying off this. They might let you feel like it's going to buy and then they shoot it down. Let's just see. Look at that. But again, here's our structure that we originally drew that we're interested in. And we just had a structure break. Did we? This is a free lesson right here. Nope. This is a wick. This could be a fake out for a sell. There she goes. That was a good move right there for a sell, wasn't it? But now we had a real structure break. So this broke structure for real. So now I'd be saying, hey, it's probably going to buy. There she goes. See that? So that's it, guys. I hopefully helped you some. Hopefully this helped you some. But definitely go to Trade with Bob. Let me show you this. PIP. Go to PulseXPremium.com. I'm having a Christmas special right now where you can save $272 for Christmas. And also, if you go to Trade with Bob, tradewithbob.com, that's free. Everything on there is free. There's no gotchas or anything. You can earn points to start winning stuff. And maybe take a screenshot of this because it's all super valuable, right? I do believe you're going to love it. And then lastly, I want you to check out this. If you're having issues, mindhacksfortraders.com. Go here, guys. And this is an event that I pre-recorded with one of my partners, Paul. He's an Anglistic programmer, certified Anglistic programmer who is also a funded trader, right? He's a professional trader and he's going to help you rewire your brain. It's pretty freaking cool. Go there, mindhacksfortraders.com, and jump in there and let me know what you think, right? I will be answering questions on there, and he's having a special. If you jump in right now, he'll be doing a 1-hour coaching session with you. So it's just a big bonus if you join with us there. So that's it. Hopefully you guys have a great Christmas. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If you see this on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe and share with your friends. And I hope you have a blessed holiday season. God bless you. Take care. Back it out.